Well, here I am again, trying my hand at doing seats. And I'm on the 34 Chevy truck. I did the front, doing the bench seat in the truck. Let me give you a look-see and I'll show you how it came out. Okay, this is the back of the bench seat. And it came out pretty good for something I did. When I was making the patterns for it, I tried to make it and do it in pieces, and I couldn't do it that way. So what I did is covered the seat like I was wrapping it as a present and made it nice and tight, and then marked it out, and then cut the pattern, cut it apart. And that was my pattern. I used tape in the corners and made it all round, and I marked it so when I got ready to sew the pieces together, they would line up this way. And man, I had marks everywhere. And of course, as I was sewing it together, there you go. As I was sewing it together, I started at the end. I sewed the all the way around the sides, all the way around, and that came out pretty good. I dry fitted it on the seat, and oh, that looks good. And then I went to put the top on it, and I started, I think right here. This is the bottom of the back seat. Yeah, that's the bottom. So I figured if I'm going to screw it up, that's where I'm going to start. And then I sewed in this direction. And of course, as I was sewing around, all my lines that I had supposed to line up all this stuff started to move on me. It's like it started to stretch. And it might have been because I was pulling the material a little too tight or whatever. But the time I got all the way around here to this side, my lines were about that far apart. And I said, man, this is going to be screwed up. But I had no idea, so I just went ahead and finished it. And then when I got down towards this area here, which you can see these little wrinkles, this material was, it started, this wasn't the same length as this, and it started to get a little bubble here. So I had to stretch the snot out of this to make it to where I didn't have a big bubble. And that's why I got these wrinkles. But I thought this seat was going to be absolutely horrible and I have to cut it completely apart. But this seat actually came out better than any seat I've done. And I don't know how that happened, because it wasn't because of my accuracy. I think it was because I got lucky or something, or maybe the gods felt sorry for me and said, okay, we're going to let you slide on this one. But it actually came out okay. I mean, it's, for somebody doing upholstery work, it's horrible. But for somebody that doesn't know squat, I would say that is the best seat I've done so far. I mean, there are some little goofs in it, but overall, it's going to look okay. And the inside seats, they didn't come out quite as good as that, but they aren't gross. If it looks like a truck seat, I guess you would say. Nothing ooh wow, nothing fancy. But they're done. So that means I can move on once I install that seat back here and put a couple of little alignment boards under the seat, so when you sit them in, they go back in the same place. I've got to do that yet. But then I'm going to try to put the exhaust on the thing. And I've got the exhaust system, which is down there. I'm going to put that on. And that's going to take a little bit. And I think maybe I'll do something on my horn. Once upon a time on one of these videos, I got real complicated, talked about isolating the horn and running a hot wire to it and grounding it. And then I said, well, why do I got to do all that? All I got to do is get a horn relay, which is right there. Yeah, right there. So I grabbed an old horn relay. You know, sometimes you look at things and it's too complicated. So let's make it easy. Yeah. All right. Well, so that take care of the horn. And if this exhaust system I ordered will fit and I can make it work, then that'll take care of that. And I just got finished working on a boat. I put a floor in it, and I've got that done. So now I can get back on the truck real good. I've got another job coming up. Guy has a Chevrolet El Camino. He wants me to put floors in it and paint it, and well, I might do it because the money come in handy, because that's why I did the boat. You know, and the boat's going to pay for the wheels, tires, brakes, and maybe some paint. This paint has gotten way out of hand, and I still got to paint the bed. So, yeah. Oh, boy, I tell you, this stuff is getting bad. And I got to paint this thing yet. So, paint's $300 a gallon, and that's just the paint. You got to get the hardener, the thinner, and everything else that goes with it. So it's yeah, I guess I'm just gonna keep fiddling with this stuff as long as I can. But golly, I don't see how a poor man does this. This is becoming a wealthy man's toys. But you know, I guess I'm not dead in the water just yet. But if it keeps getting out of sight like this, it's going to get ugly. Even the material for the seats. This is the Ford Model A. There's not much to see, just a Ford. But even the material for the seats, which is right here, I went to, there's a material place, and luckily the lady had a coupon that's cashier, 50% off. And I said, oh man, that's great. So I got enough material for the doors, because that's how much I was short on this, to finish the door panels. So that was good. And that was, so that worked out well. It was only like $30 for the material. So that means I've got everything for this as soon as the rest of my parts come in. And then I think this thing will be finished, because I put the bed on. I might, once I get the exhaust on and completely finish the seats and mount them, I'm going to pull the bed out of the back and see what it's going to take to put that on. Because I got like a wood kit that goes with it. And then I got to assemble the bed, and I don't even know how it's put together. And the glass, I guess I can put in, but I don't have any weather stripping for the glass, the felt, for the glass to run up and down in. So there's some things I got to get, but I'm getting close, I think, of getting this thing done. And then I have to figure out what I'm going to do next. As far as what vehicle I'm going to pull in here. 'Cause I don't know if I want to, I guess I should finish the Ford. It's pretty close. There's no reason to leave it in primer. So I guess maybe after I get this done, I probably should jump right on the Ford and get my sharp stick out and start putting some paint on that. Yeah, I guess that's probably what I ought to do. But I've got to get the material for that. And, you know, they make interior kits for these, but they're $2,500, $3,000, and I'm not going to go that route. Make it myself and spend $500-600 on material, and I can mess it up. It's no problem at all. It's just a Ford, you know. It's just an old car. So that's where we are. So there's not much to show you. It's I guess everybody's seen most of this already. And oh lordy, man, swallowed a bug. So let me see. I still got My buddy John's old cars over here, the Triumphs and MGs. And he should be here right now working on it, but he's building a picnic table. So it's going to take him about 3 months to build a picnic table. How fast he works. But it's the most accurate picnic table there ever was. You know, so I don't get it, but this is what he does. But this is where we are. The chickens walking around outside. They like to come in here and give me presents and stuff all over the floor. That's great, man. All right. So here we are. Until I got something done where I could show you, which I don't know what it would be, because this has got to be becoming boring, you know. It's one car project after another car project. I mean, how many of them can you do and say, oh, that's great, yeah. All right, enough of that. I'll see you all later. Bye.